For more on this, we are joined by Mr. Ali Sarwar Naqvi, former ambassador, speaking to us from Islamabad. Thank you so much for your time. Now, the question that I have for you is that Taliban have repeatedly warned Turkey against keeping troops in Afghanistan to guard the Kabul airport. Why is Turkey willing to risk a conflict?
Well, you see, they are doing it in concert with the United States, and I think this is just to maintain order when all the troops have left and Americans have quit Afghanistan completely. But yes, I think they should be mindful. Turkey should be mindful of the Taliban reservations about their presence. You see, a better idea would have been a UN force, a UN security force to take charge of the Kabul airport. That would not have raised any objections on the part of the Taliban. But somehow this has worked out between Americans and the Turks, and with the connivance or acceptance of the Kabul government of President Ashraf Ghani. So, this is a situation where there could be resistance on the part of the Taliban. Of course, we must remember that the Taliban are not yet in Kabul as such, except for some sort of random groups that they might be supporting who are carrying out terrorist acts. So, if the Taliban are not in charge of Kabul, then they should not really be objecting to the arrangements regarding the Kabul airport. But they have given a public statement, and that is correct, as you have said, that they have objected to the Turkish involvement.
All right, Mr. Naqvi, the Taliban have taken a position of not attacking to capture Kabul militarily. But with Taliban claims of over 85% of territorial control of the country, how powerful or relevant would the Ghani government be, even if they get to just keep Kabul?
Not really very relevant, because they would have lost most of the territory, and even if they have control of Kabul, that does not amount to very much in terms of running a government. So I think the Kabul government of Ashraf Ghani will have to take the stock of the situation. They are, of course, contesting the Taliban claim of 85% control of the country. Their defense minister and their national security advisor have both said that it is a much smaller control. But nevertheless, I think even conservative estimates say that the Taliban have control over 50% of the territory, which again is very substantial for a non-governmental militia or force to claim. So this situation is very worrying, and it could lead to a civil war scenario, which would be most destabilizing, not only for Afghanistan but for neighboring countries like Pakistan particularly.
All right. Now, Mr. Naqvi, the former president, Hamid Karzai, has said today that there would be major advances made in the intra-Afghan talks in Doha very, very soon. What incentive did the Taliban have to negotiate on U.S. to the terms now that its influence in the country has diminished?
Yes, well, you see, the Taliban this time are also worried about international recognition. What happened last time, I think, is something they worry about, because last time they did not get international recognition, but for three countries, Pakistan, UAE and Saudi Arabia. The rest of the world completely boycotted the Taliban regime in Kabul. So The Taliban, I think, I don't know any, I don't have any knowledge of it, but I think the Taliban would want a recognition from other countries. And if that is the case, then they will negotiate with the U.S. and they will try to also play a more conciliatory role in the intra-Afghan dialogue. Because if they are coming to form, if they are coming to take over the government, or take over the country and form a government, then they would want to be recognized with most countries, if not all.
Mr. Ali Sarwar Naqvi, thank you so much for speaking to Indus News.